Welcome, guys. So in the last video, we actually talked about how we can actually install the latest Laravel project, which is Laravel 12, and get it running on our system. And currently, we're going to be talking about the authentication system, how to build everything from scratch, the registration system, the login system, and the logout system. So let's dive straight to it. So let me open my project here. Yeah. So like I said in the previous video, we actually talked about how we can download Laravel 12 and get it running. And I spoke about how you can actually download it and get it running in your system. So you might want to reverse back to that video if you don't know how to get that done. So currently we already have a project here. Yeah. So let's just quickly dive into what we have for today. So basically, I'm trying to create the authentication system for a user, the registration and the login system, basically. So the first thing I want to check is I'm going to check my database. I'm going to check my database. Now, in the previous video, we've actually run the PHP artisan migrate, which actually helps us to create our database and actually helps us to create the tables in our database. So the name of our database, let's check. Yeah, so the name of our database is actually Laravel tutorial, which I actually explained it in the last video. And we are using MySQL connection, and this is the host and the root, and then the password is empty rather. So the name of our database is Laravel tutorial. So if I should run this PHP artisan migrate, which is actually the first thing to do, basically. If I should run it, okay, it's taking a while. Yeah, you can see nothing to migrate, nothing to migrate. So basically, I've actually run the migration file initially. So let me just go to my database and show you how it works. So let me just open it from here, admin. Yeah. So it's going to come up in a couple of minutes. So yeah. So the next thing I want to do is let me show you how the database looks like. Yes. So Laravel tutorial. That's the name of the database. Yeah. So this is it. So you can see I've actually run all the migration files and it's created these things for me, the users and all of that. So I have the users table basically. So the next thing I want to check is that since I've made sure that I have my users table, I want to check my model file, which I'm going to go to the app. Then under the app, I'm going to go to the models. Now inside the model, I have users. And you can see I have the users already set up already. Now I have three values for the user. I have the name, the email, and the password. This is all we need, which is all we need. So let's go forward and get it started on. So let me open the migration file just to show you how it works. So create users migration file. Yeah. So this is the migration file basically. Now this one here, let me comment this out. Let me just comment this out like this here. So this one here is actually the one creating the users table basically. So you can see it has the name, it has the email verified, it has the password. So if I want to create probably phone number or something, I'll just come here and I'll create my phone number. Let me just give it something like this, phone number. Now it's going to be a string actually because due to the fact that we're having country code and all of that too. The advisable is a string basically. So if I have any other value, I can actually create it here. So it's just it's not really that difficult. It's simple to comprehend basically. So if you have any issue, you can actually just reverse back to the documentation. You can just reverse back to the documentation here and see how. Let me just show you migrations. Let's check migration, database migrations, and then yeah, you can see how migrations work here and just go through them and all of that. So currently, let's just dive straight to it. So that's for the migration. So we have the users, and we are sure that the users actually have the required details, which is the name, the email, and the password, which is acceptable. So the next thing I want to do now is I want to create my controller, the logic basically. So I'm just going to have my PHP artisan make controller. Then I'm going to call it, sorry. I'm going to call it controller, alt controller. Yeah, so I'm going to enter. Okay, it says controller already exists. So let's open it. Oh, wow. So probably I've created this. No, let me just delete this. Let me delete this. So I'll create it again because I want to do it from scratch basically so we can see how it works. So PHP artisan controller, yeah, at the make hot controller. So yeah, this is it. So we have make hot controller here. Yeah. So the next thing I want to do is that I want to start creating my functions. I'll start with my functions. I'm going to have the public function. Sorry, that came out wrongly. The public function show register. So this is actually to show the register page. So I'm going to just return view like this. Yes. And I'm going to have my view to be auth dot register like this. Yes. Public function register. Register. I'm going to have my request, and I'm going to have the variable here. Request. Yes. Yes. I'm going to have this like this. Request validate like this. Let me close it. Yeah, so I'm going to have the first one to be main, and it's also going to be, sorry, it's going to be required. It's going to be required a string and then max of let's say 100. So I'm going to have email as well. It's going to be required. Sorry, this has to be single quotes. So it's going to be required as well. So I'm going to have email, email. Yes, I'm going to use the unique, then users. Is it user or users? I guess it should be. Let me check my database, please, to be sure I'm okay. Users is users is users table. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is making sure that the email is actually unique. No email that are going to be entering here will exist in the database, making sure that the email is actually unique here. So after that, I'm going to have my password also going to be required, and I'm going to put my confirm here. The confirm keyword there is just to for the confirm password and all of that, but it's optional. If you don't want it to be there, you can just remove it. For the start, I just want it to be there. So I have my confirm. Yes, and I'm good to go. And I'm good to go. Okay, I guess we are missing something here. After the confirm, let's have a string actually. For the confirm, let's make it with a string. Yes. So like, yeah, we're good to go. We're good to go. We're good to go. So let's make it max as well. Max of 6, maximum of, is it min or max? Let's leave it. Let's leave it. But in case you want to set, you can actually set the min or max. Yeah. So the next thing I want to do is I want to create this data in the database after this validation after this validation system has been passed. So the next thing I want to import. Let me import my model. So let me make sure I'm importing the right model. Okay, user. So I'll just okay. Importing. So I'm just gonna have the use r slash model slash user. Yes, user. Yes. Yeah, so the next thing I want to do now is I want to create my user's data. So I'm going to have the user, then the create keyword, create. So I'm going to have something like this. Sorry. Oh, this, no, it's not meant to be this. It's meant to be this. Yes. Okay, so my name, then it's going to have the request name. I'm going to have my email as well. Going to be having the request, so the request email. I'm going to have my password as well. Password. Now for the password, I'm actually going to hash my password. Hash make. I'm going to hash my password. Hash make request password. Yes, request password. Yeah. I didn't import this class. Let me import it. So I'm going to have the use illuminate. Illuminate. So just let me refer back to my let me just refer back here because since I've forgotten hashing. Okay, you can see. So it's use eliminate support versat hash. So let me just import it directly. Yes, so this is the hash. Something. So after that, the next thing I want to do is I want to redirect them to the login. So I'm just going to have the return. I'm going to have the redirect, redirect, yes. Route, yes. I'm going to return them back to the login, yes. Width, yes. Let's say success. Success. Let's spell that correctly. I guess so. Success. User successfully registered. Right? Registered. I'm kind of skeptical about my spelling, but nevertheless, don't just ignore my spelling, please. Yeah. So I have the redirect route, login with. So this is just the message, a success message, and this is the message. User successfully registered. Yes. Yeah. So after that, we are going to have the view for login as well. So I'm going to have public function, show login. Yes. Show login. So I'm going to return view as well. Sorry. I'm going to return view, and it's going to be auth dot login. Auth dot login. Now, what this auth dot login means is that actually in the view, I'll go to my resources, and inside the view, I'm going to create a folder. I'm going to create a folder called auth. I'm going to create a folder called auth. So inside of auth, I'm going to have the login blade template. So that's just the meaning basically. So let me delete this. So when we get there, cross the bench. So yeah. So I have this. So the next thing I want to do now is I want to log in the login logic. So I'm going to have the public function. Let's say login. So I'm going to have the request. Yes. So I'm going to have my request validate function as well. So I'm going to have my request validate function as well. Yes, sorry. So validate. Yeah, so what I want to do now is I'm just going to have this email and password, copy it here. So I'm not going to have the confirm here, but I'm going to have the required. I'm not going to have the unique users here, but I'm going to have the required and email. Yes. So I'm going to close this. Yeah. So I'm going to have something like this. Credentials. Am I spelling this correctly? Is it like this? I guess it's like this. So credentials, I'm going to have the request. I'm going to have the request only. So email and password. I guess. Yeah. So I'm going to have this saying if auth attempts here, attempts credentials. If auth did attempt the credentials and actually needed it to be true, I'm going to return it to the dashboard. So I'm going to have the return view, just dashboard actually. No need for any auth or anything. Just dashboard. So that's dashboard.blade template. So it's going to return view dashboard. Yes. Else, if you didn't meet it, it's going to return back. Just return back, then with an error message saying credentials, single quote please, credentials does not match. I guess that's enough. That's enough here. So now I'm going to have that of so I'm going to have my dashboard, my dashboard view. So dashboard, right? Am I correct? Yes, I'm correct. Dashboard. So if auth attempt, is it attempt? No, not attempt. ID. If auth check rather. Sorry. If auth check, yes. So it's going to return to the view. Oh, so it's going to return the view of dashboard. Yes, that's dashboard templates. Dashboard. Else, if it doesn't match, it's going to return back to the login form, to the login route. So return what? Okay, return redirect, redirect action. No, this is not what I want. Return redirect to the route, the login route, with an error message saying login login to access dashboard. Or let's just see, let's access dashboard is actually fine. It's fine. So the next one I want to have is my logout. I want to have my logout, which is going to make it a complete authentication system. So I want to have my logout, sorry, yes, logout. So logout is actually quite simple. It's just I'm just going to have my auth. You can see I have it here already. Auth logout. Then I'm going to return. Should I redirect or I should just return? Let me redirect to login. So return, redirect, redirect route, login route. Yes, yeah, yes. So yes. So the next thing I want to do now is so hold on. Okay, hot. I don't have my hot. Let me go back and look for it. Yes, so these all the functions that we need for our controller. So let's check through. Oh wow, I'm using an auth symbol here, but I don't have the auth class. Yes, so let me just duplicate this. Let me just duplicate this. And I have my auth here. I guess that should do. Yes. Okay, we are good to go. So let me go to my web.php in the routes for web to web. Yeah, so this is actually what all this came with the LiveWire WebKit. So I'm just going to comment them out. I'm going to comment these out as well. Or better still, let me delete. I don't need them actually. Let me remove them. Yes. So I'm going to have my, hold on please. Okay, let me just copy this guy. Yeah, and it's going to be Alt Controller. Yes. So the first one I'm going to have is my route get. I'm going to call it register. Register. Not correct. Yes, I know. Register Alt Controller class. And the name of the class is show register. Show register. So this is going to be in code. Show register. Okay, let me give it a name. Let me give it a name. Name register. Yes. So let me duplicate this, and this is going to be for post. For the post register, auth controller, that will be register itself. Okay, register. I'm going to remove this guy. Yes. So I'm going to duplicate it and have the same thing or similar thing actually for login. So I'm going to have login here. Just going to, okay, let me just have login. Yeah, so login. So this has to capital letter, yes. So am I correct? Yeah, show login. Yes, I'm correct. So the next one is actually dashboard. So I'm going to have similar thing for the dashboard. Dashboard, yeah, dashboard. Alt controller class of dashboard. And I'm going to give it a name of dashboard. The name of dashboard, yes. So which other thing again? Which other thing? Yeah, the logout. So logout as well. Let me just duplicate this. I'll call this one logout. Logout. Yeah. Yes, we are good to go with the web file. So let's go to the blade template. Let's create our blade templates now. So I'm going inside the resources. Let me close everything. So it won't look confusing. So inside the resources, I'm going to the views. So inside the views, where I'm going to have my blade template. So inside the views, I'm going to create a folder. I'm going to create a folder, create folder. Where is it? A new folder. So I'm going to call it auth. Now, the reason why I'm creating a folder is because remember in the auth controller, we're using auth dot register, auth dot login, and all of that for the views. Now, the reason this auth is actually a folder, then this dot the word is in front is actually the file, the blade template itself. So inside this auth, I'm going to have the auth. So I'm going to have register dot blade dot php. Yes, register dot blade dot php. So I'm just going to have my regular boilerplate, HTML boilerplate actually. So I'm going to call this register page. So I'll do the same thing for login. Create login blade template as well. Dot blade dot php. Yeah, so I'm gonna have this all here. So I'm going to have call this login. So login page. So back to the register. Yeah, so I have this. So all this is coming. I had this before. I just copied it and brought it here. So basically, this is actually the form container. Is basically coming from a CSS file, which I have. So I have Vite resources, CSS. So I'm using Vite actually. Yes, I forgot to mention that. I'm also using Vite. So the CSS file is coming from here. So this is where the start.css is coming from. Yeah. So inside the resources, I have CSS. Alongside, I have the JS and I have the views. So that's where it's coming from basically. So inside my register.blade.php, I'm having the form container. So I'm having the h2 tag. It's just a simple HTML design. So I'm having this. Now, this if section success, what it means is if we have a success message, yes, if we have a section of success message, it's going to print out this success. And where this is coming from this, you can see with success. Let me copy and make sure I'm actually on the right page. Yes. So errors also, if any errors, I have all this. Then I have the at C SRF. Then I have this as well. So the value So I'm going to have the same thing for my login.blade. Yeah, so I have this for my login.blade file. I have this for my login.blade file. And yeah, so I'm linking it to the Vite to style.css in my resources through Vite. So the next thing I want to do is that if you don't have Vite, I want to run this npm install. You might want to run the npm install, but I already have Vite, so I'm just going to run npm run there to run my Vite. So it's running. So the next thing I want to check is my dashboard.blade.php. Now this is coming from the Livewire webkit. So I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to have this. Sorry, I'm going to have this. So I'm going to have this for my dashboard. This is a simple one. So the same thing, linking to style.css through Vite. So I have my workup. So this auth user, here where it's coming from. It's coming from here. So auth user, then the user, then the name. Then I have the auth user, then the email. Then I have a logout route, actually, a logout route. So yes. So the next thing I want to do is I want to run my PHP artisan site. PHP artisan site. So I'm going to have my slash register. Okay, spell that from the register. Yeah, so this is the design I have for my register page. I'm just going to have name to be Ignite is Samuel, Sammy, and I'm going to have my password as this. So let's check if the confirm password is working. I'm just going to have a wrong something to try registering. Okay, we're having an error. We're having an error. Let's check. Oh, I wrote confirm. It's meant to be confirmed. Confirmed. So let me go back. So we'll try again. Going to have this. Email has already been taken. Apart from that, I'm having the password field confirmation does not match. So I'm going to change the email to something else. Now let me explain where this error is coming from. Let me explain the error is coming from. Now in my register blade, you can see I have if errors, if any errors. I'm having list of errors. Now these errors is coming from the fact that in my auth controller here, you can see I was using this validate keyword. Now through this validate keyword, it's going to it's going to return an error, errors actually. So I'm having this. Now one of the errors return is that due to the fact that I said unique users, and it's understanding the fact that excuse me, sorry, that email has already been used before by someone else. So it's returning an error that okay, this email is in use already. Change your email. Get. So for the confirm also, this fact that I have the confirmed here is also going to check if the password actually matches each other. If the password matches the confirmed password. So that's for this guy here. That's for these errors. Yes. So let me go back. So I'm going to have this. I'm going to have this. Email has already been taken again. So let's change the email. So let me put something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, user successfully registered. So let me have 1, 2, 3, 4. My password. So the dashboard, welcome, welcome. Yeah, so your email is devsami1234, and my name is this. So this is the name, which I've actually done in my dashboard of Blade. So I'm going to log out now. So yeah, so I'm going back to the login page. So that's all about the authentication system actually, and that's how it works. That's how the authentication system works.